Right. So we will be calling on you guys in a couple of minutes, but we just wanted to welcome everybody. So I'm Helen. I'm responsible for our people experience and our customer experience at Kadence. And I just wanted to share how we're going to run this session. So today, super exciting. It's the first of the Kadence Connect webinars. We're going to be running these on a regular basis. And the goal really is two things. First, to bring our community together, to start to share learnings, introduce customers to each other, and yeah, really just kind of be in this together in this crazy hybrid reality that we're all in. So that's the first thing. And the second is to share updates, new features, and yeah, just really make sure that you've got an opportunity to hear directly from us when we launch something new in a group environment like this. Of course, you can always reach out to your customer experience representative. But yeah, these sessions will be running regularly for anything new, and we'll do a deep dive on these calls. Once a month is our plan. So yeah, I introduced myself, Helen, Head of People Experience and Customer Experience at Kadence. Stephen, do you want to introduce yourself?
Thanks. Yeah, thanks, Helen. I recognize a lot of names on the call as I've helped you as the part of the customer experience team here at Kadence. So I've been here for 3 years. I've helped onboard many customers, which again I recognize a lot of names and the participants. So thanks for joining. And yeah, our team's just anxious to make sure that you guys are aware of everything you can take advantage of. So we're gonna definitely highlight the AI and then a few other things here in just a little bit to make sure you're aware. And then, yeah, if you have any questions or you don't know who your CX person is, your customer experience rep, just you can always reach out to cx@kadence.co and we'll get you connected.
And as we go through, we want this to be as interactive as it can be. So we're just testing a few things out here. So we're starting with the chat questions. And if we need to change that up in time, we will do. But yeah, if you have any questions at any point on anything, please do send a message in the chat on the Zoom chat. So we're going to ask a couple of our customers who you can see here to share their experiences when it comes to hybrid. So hybrid means different things to different people, to different customers. We hear different things every time we do kickoff calls. And so we wanted to just, yeah, get you sharing. So we'll do that in a second. And then, yeah, we'll once we've got through that, we'll dive into a couple of features that we see people not using as much as we might like you to, things that we think can make Kadence customers more successful. And then we'll jump into the AI part of the session, the demo. So
Awesome.
Stephen,
Yeah, I'll take the time here. Yeah. So Rika and Alyssa, I was just speaking with them yesterday on a call, and you were sharing some really interesting things that were going on at your office. And so yeah, if you could just share what hybrid looks like for you and what you're dealing with and how you guys are going about accomplishing that. It doesn't really have to be, solely focused on Kadence, but really just, trying to build this community and understand what everybody else is trying to work through so we can, get some connections going and really make this a great community. So yeah, if you could share that, and I don't know if it's worth me turning off the screen share while you share really quick, but yeah, we'd really appreciate that. Thanks, Rika and Lisa.
Thank you, Stephen. Yes, Alyssa and I are very happy to share a little bit of our experience. So we are here at ExAlta in Troy, Michigan. Our main headquarters is in Philadelphia, and our hybrid progress with Kadence, or hybrid living with Kadence, started basically about 2 years ago when we moved our headquarters from Clinton Township to Troy, Michigan. Basically, this reduced our office size to 50%, and therefore also reduced many offices, conference room, desk, etc. And we were looking for a solution how to make all these available to our employees at any time. So that's why we started working with Kadence, and it worked wonderful for the last 2 years. Of course, many features came in between, and we are learning day by day. But now with the return to office, seeing more frequently, we started it like 2 days a week to be in the office. Now we are about 3 days a week, and more and more people are coming into the offices. We have managers who made basically their teams meetings on certain days mandatory. So on those days, which are for us Tuesdays and Thursdays, we see a huge request on office booking. And so we were like reaching out to Stephen yesterday, and we're like, we need a little bit of help. We need to find a better solution for high-level managers to get an office and not to sit outside, and but without, making other employees feel like less important. So Alyssa found on Kadence this new feature about the neighborhood settings. So that's why
Yeah,
we
the
reached out.
priority booking
The
specific.
priority booking, exactly. And so we were like reaching out to Stephen yesterday. And so this is something we would like to try out now. And then also I reached out to Stephen and said, Stephen, you guys need to change in your settings the differentiation between offices and conference rooms, because right now this is one subject in Kadence, and we need to really split those up because conference rooms, in our opinion, need a total different setting than in offices. For instance, conference rooms need to be bookable 365 days in advance for recurring meetings, and office shouldn't be that long be bookable. So anyway, so those are a couple of things we are trying to now to implement and figuring out how it works.
Yeah, we'll follow up and report. We're going to try out the priority booking.
Yeah.
Thing we could do is put the offices in their own neighborhood and give them their own booking in advance setting. So we'll report back on the next Kadence Connect how this goes with implementing it. But one thing to note though is we have had a high request with the new space types that we release. We release parking, we release lockers and pods, but the one that's been highest request since then has been the offices. And so we are committed to bringing that on our roadmap, and we'll keep you all updated, but that will be coming. And so, yeah, that feedback like that, yeah, please pass back to our team, because we want to make sure we're accomplishing what you guys want to accomplish. So I guess any questions, Helen or Lisa, or should we just pass the time to Lisa to share, and then maybe we go and just kind of recap the conversations here.
Let's do that. Let's jump to Lisa, and then we can take a look through the questions coming in. Please keep them coming, folks.
Perfect. Hi, everybody. My name's Lisa. I work for Service Credit Union in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. For us, COVID certainly changed the landscape of office space, how it was utilized. We saw a significant reduction in our office space being utilized. Within our organization, we actually have three types of employees. We have those that have to be on site 100% of the time. So with us being a financial institution, obviously that's our member-facing staff, so your financial advisors, your tellers, et cetera. Then we have our hybrid employees, where we call them remote friendly, where they're expected to come into the office 2 to 3 days a week. However, management has the ultimate call on how frequently they really need to see their employees. It could be less, could be a little bit more. And then obviously we have our fully remote staff. So for us, obviously from my perspective, so I deal on the property side. We have a lot of physical spaces. And even though we knew the spaces weren't being used, I needed the metrics to prove, the utilization rates within our spaces. And so as we started to look around, that's when we found Kadence. And we've been piloting it actually the last year. And it's worked really well. The top feedback that we get is how easy it is for the end user. And I will say Kadence has been phenomenal in responding to our requests as well. We also have a custom dashboard so that we're getting the reporting and the metrics that we specifically need. And you know what, overall, it's just been, it's been a great experience for us.
And can I ask how many days you're typically in?
I'm anywhere from 1 to 2 days a week for me personally. It could be more, it could be less. It really just depends on the needs of my team. My position is technically considered remote. But I do have employees that do need to come in, so I like to make sure that I'm coming in on site to be with them as well.
But there's not a mandate top down that says
no, I mean, we have guidelines where they recommend 2 to 3 days. But as I indicated, it's really up to the respective management team. If they don't feel that their teams need to come in that frequently, then they certainly don't have to.
Good to hear. Okay, thank you. All right, so should we jump?
I know we're all trying to accomplish hybrid in different ways, and so one thing I would say that if there's anything specific that you're trying to work through, as far as like how can we accomplish this, there are like ways that our clients have layered some of the functionalities, and our CX team would be happy to share that with you. So again, if you're trying to work through something specifically and you want to know if there's any tools that can help accomplish it, if you can reach out to CX at Kadence, we'd be happy to help consult there and share what our other clients are working through. So let me go back to here. So we just barely covered what hybrid looks like for us, and now there's a few feature highlights, and we've already kind of hit on some of those, and one of those being the parking and lockers. Also, Helen and I have a passion to help the team managers better coordinate. And so we do have some existing functionality in the system to help you nudge or help the team managers nudge their team members, like when the team days are within Kadence. And you can set that up within editing the team. You can set up a team cadence. And when you make a team manager, they can set the team cadence and manage that going forward.
And it's one of the reasons I asked you, Lisa, what you do and then versus the organization, because it does really just open things up, right? If the team themselves has some level of autonomy and can get that through Kadence, as opposed to it feeling like the organization is telling everybody that they've got to do the same thing. So we're seeing users really value the ability to have team cadences set up within their own smaller unit.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know for me, I don't always come in the same day of the week. I mix it up a little bit, right? So that's why Kadence is really helpful. My team can see when I'm coming into the office. So, they can prepare to be good that day.
Yeah, and that is one of the more underutilized features. And so it is something that we're just trying to highlight and make sure that our wider customer base knows exist. And parking and lockers, more recent addition. We were asked to launch these two for a very long time from lots of customers. So it's here. Again, please ask if we can help you get those set up.
One thing that you would need to do is we need to update your floor plans. And so, a great place again to start would be the CX team. If you already have what you want to add, you could reach out to floor plans at Kadence and we can get those added. And I'll just go ahead and speak on this last one because it actually runs into the Kadence AI. So we have the ability to send check-in notifications, start colleague notifications right in Microsoft Teams and Slack, and that's really been the functionality up until like our latest release. It's just been more of a notification base, but now having these integrations is going to help you take advantage of our newest functionality, which is Kadence AI. So to use the Kadence AI, it's all based in these platforms in Microsoft Teams and Slack. So you need to make sure that you have that set up. And I'm going to switch my screens really quick here to share there. So to take advantage of this, you would need to have in your settings under the integrations, you would need to have one of these set up, either the Microsoft Teams or the Slack integration. Make sure it's configured with Microsoft Teams. It would need to be verified. So if you're not getting notifications in Microsoft Teams, you just double check to make sure that you have this configured and verified. You'll notice at the very, very bottom of the page that it says enable Kadence AI and instant messaging. So that brings us to what we wanted to highlight on today's call is the Kadence AI. So right in the chat bot, the messages that you get in Slack or in Microsoft Teams, you can see that I get messages here. Right from this now, with that enabled, you can type and speak with the Kadence AI. It's been really nice to me so far. I've been treating it really nice. But a couple of use cases that I think would be worth highlighting. When I first started, customers would ask me, "Hey, how do I pull a quick report of who's going to be in the office?" And so I had just ran this yesterday, but like you can now type to it, "Who's coming in today?" or "When is the conference room, whatever your conference room is named, when's that next available on Thursday?" And so I would encourage you to go in here and to play around with it. I believe that the biggest benefit of having the Kadence AI though is that it's already in the places that you work. I know personally at our company we use Slack quite a bit, and you can see we use Teams as well. We're in both places, but these really are the hubs of work. And so giving you the passive, without being actively in Kadence, the passive value that you can just get by throwing it a quick chat, or book me a desk in the head office for tomorrow. You can see that I work through that. Jared's, we live in Salt Lake, and so coordinating when we're going to go back, in the office next. I can ask when Jared's next in the office. You can now take advantage of that and also make bookings. Book me a desk. If you have the ability to book on behalf of others, book me a desk on behalf of Jared in the head office for Thursday. So right from the places you're already working, you can take advantage of Kadence AI. Is there anything else that you wanted to add to that, Helen, or anything else I should highlight? I know we have a slide on that, but just make sure that you have the integration set up before you play around with that. And one more thing to add on to that, one of the best practices that customers that do use Microsoft Teams have done is they've actually pushed the Kadence add-in or the Kadence app to the employee's computer. So it's just there in the sidebar and it's pinned. They've done this through making a policy and then just pushing it to everybody's sidebar. So if you haven't done that and you're having people just kind of download it, it might be something worth considering to have it just automatically dock there for new employees that come on board, or pushing it to the team. And so they could also take advantage of that functionality. So here's our highlight slide that I want to make sure I cover. So a personalized experience that responds, and it's getting quicker and quicker. We've been testing this out internally, and it's really, really prompt. Book multiple desks. So if you've been trying to, I know it's been highly requested, like, can I book multiple desks at the same time? Now you can say, book me, a set of desks for these people. It integrates into your existing workflow. And so, just to note there, make sure we have those integrations set up. And then, one of the biggest thing really is that coordination, like you had mentioned, Lisa, like just letting people know when you're going to be in the office. Now, if you guys keep your cadence up to date with your bookings, it's going to be that much easier to know when your colleagues are coming in the office.
And we did, just to answer one of the questions quickly, thank you for it, Haley. It's ready now, it's live now. So all customers have access to it from now.
Yeah, and then let me just dive. I mean, if you're an admin, you could go check. By default, we just left it on. There was a couple customers that had asked that we don't turn it on, but by default, it should just be turned on in your. Let me actually go back to here. Actually, this is it. Sorry, I'm doing this on the fly here. But if you go check your settings and then integrations, you will just need to have one of these set up, and then just the very bottom for all, like we just push this out to every customer. So if you already have Microsoft Teams, you should see now that you can chat with it in the chat bot. And if not, then you should go check these settings and make sure that we have an integration done and that this is toggled on. But when we pushed it, we made sure it was toggled on for everybody, except for those couple customers that asked that we didn't.
For the customers that are on the call, have either of you had a go yet? Had a play around?
I did have an opportunity to play around in the AI. It was very cool and super easy. I'm a bit of a Luddite sometimes when it comes to the technology. So having something nice and easy that I don't have to figure out where on Kadence I have to go. I can just ask the AI and it'll set it all up for me. It's great.
Yeah, great. And was there something specific that you asked that, what was it that you thought, right, that'll be something that would be helpful for me to know quickly via?
It was understanding who was coming into the office on a specific day. Yeah. So
Yeah, that
Yeah.
does seem to be the one that lots of people are asking.
Yeah, having that quick report of who's coming in has been, yeah, something that's been asked for since I started probably 3 years ago. And now it's just, yeah, with a line, you can get that. I did just think of one more thing that's probably worth noting, like the Kadence AI will default to your preferred building. It also will prefer, like it will default to the bookings in your preferred hours, like your working hours. And so if you're not getting in the office that you want, or like you feel like the default isn't working, I would just recommend that you go into your profile and settings and just check that you have your preferred workspace set up. And then also under your profile, just make sure that your working hours represent what you really want your defaults to be. And that will save you some back and forth with the AI, having it adjust the times, because it will just default to your working hours for that day. So if I said book me a desk tomorrow in the head office, it would default to my working hours for that day.
So we've got a few questions coming in. I think it's probably worth us jumping into some of these. Are there plans to enable the bot to perform administrative tasks? For example, enabling or disabling a desk, pulling reports or insights? That's a great question. Stephen, do
It's
you
great,
have
a great question. And yeah, I kind of wish we had Jamie on the call.
Yeah, I was just
I
thinking that.
know this isn't something that I was going to bring up, but I know there are some things you can do, but not anything in the building section. When I say I know there's one thing you can do, I know that we, like when we were playing around with it testing, I know that we had said, hey, check everyone in on the floor. I don't imagine that's a use case that you're going to use, but that kind of would be an administrative function if you have people at the front desk that are checking to make sure that people are checked in. And yeah, we'll follow up with you, Meryl. And I know I know Meryl well, so I'll follow up with you on that question, and we'll get back to the group with that as well. But that's a great question.
Great question.
That actually I don't want to fire from the hip. I actually haven't even considered that yet, so we'll get back to you.
And from Isaac, can this feature be deployed to specific users? So for testing, before making it available to everyone?
Yeah, so right now it is just that global toggle that enables it for everyone. And so if your employees already have it, they may not know that they can chat with it or your colleagues. But yeah, right now it is all or nothing. So if all of your users have it, like, and you have that toggled on, it will just be available for everybody. And so yeah, I hope that answers your question. There's not a way to narrow that down unless you've only narrowly deployed it to certain people through like a Teams policy, which can be done. Yeah, in Microsoft Teams, you can make a policy to only push it out to a few people.
But yeah, let us know if you would like us to jump on a call with you and sort of show you it, test it out with you, play around with it with you, with some use cases so that you can see how that how it functions, and then we could toggle it back on for everybody.
So yeah, administrative functions sounds like, yeah, be able to scope it down to only certain users would be a feature request. And then there was one more question in there about, it says, when will there be Kadence options available, such as offsite client meeting, business travel? Let me go see. I have access to a limited roadmap. Let me go see if I can answer that really quick while we, as we continue the call really quick. I can pull that up and see if I can answer that, because there were going to be additional Kadence statuses that were added. I want to go see if I can find a time frame.
Did you guys also use AI yet? I don't know if you'd had a play around.
We have to integrate first, so we haven't had the opportunity yet. Stephen let us know yesterday. He showed us that we need to reach out to our IT team and set that up. So not yet, but we will definitely get that
Yeah,
done.
they have it configured. They just don't have it verified. So we
Yeah,
just need to have, and that's actually why I pointed that out earlier. And thanks to our team for helping me. We have a chat going on internally, and they just let me know that for your question, Colette, that we have remote working status is coming at the end of October. So there's going to be additional status coming that hopefully fits your needs. And then, yeah, I need to follow up to see if there's any other statuses coming. Oh, and thanks internally, we have Luke working on in the background for the marketing team. He said additional Kadence statuses for holiday, sick leave, traveling will be coming next year, but we will have a remote status coming at the end of October. Okay.
I'm just typing that out explicitly as well. So we've got that one back.
Thank you.
Um,
I like the messages. Thanks. This is great. Great to see some excitement there.
yeah, it'd be love to hear. It'd be fantastic to hear. So this was an anonymous question, but and not necessarily on the chat here, but at some point, the kinds of things that you are asked constantly in terms of additional features, we'd really love to hear. Just, and I know that often organizations are just pushing for new features for features' sake, but we would really love to hear what it is that you're being asked for that, you know, we might not have heard yet. Because I think as everybody's experiencing, we are releasing features on a very regular basis. But you, our customers, steer the roadmap. So the more we can hear from you on what else is really going to move the needle for you and make it the biggest difference, we really do want to hear it.
And then, yeah, one last thing to keep in mind is that we do have a product updates page, and just want to make sure that everyone on this call subscribes to that to make sure you stay up to date. And so, and we can put this in the chat, but cadence.co/product or /product updates with the little dash in between. When you visit this, if you go down to the bottom, you'll notice that there's this subscribe section, and then we'll make sure that you get all the latest updates. And so when those things get released that you were asking about, you could be first to know. We also do put the banners inside of the system. And then we were asked about a one pager, and I'm trying to see if we have a one pager on our help. There will be a one pager on our help page, help.cadence. It's just not there as of the day. So we'll have that one pager there that help you know how to enable that or take advantage of it. But for now, this might even be worth sharing, and I'll put this in the chat. Let me type an answer here. This could be a good start as far as a conversation to share. And then, just to recap, just got to make sure that that integration's done. So the only way that they'll be able to chat with the chat bot is if you have this Teams or Slack, and then once they add those to their Slack or Teams, and they can start chatting with it. It's just this checkbox. Okay, can you confirm when it's best to use the pod feature instead of the office? So right now in our system, we only have these, and we will be adding the office space type, because after we release these new functionalities, we had gotten overwhelming feedback that we needed to add office. And so right now I would say that most of my customers aren't using the pod yet because it doesn't seem as self-explanatory. We had thought maybe that they might use pod for a private space, but really this has just only been used for the phone booths. And so for now, I would say the best practice is just to continue to keep the desks in the office. You can set up neighborhoods just for the office desk, and have your own rules around that. And our CX team can help you walk you through that. But we will be bringing the new office feature soon, and then the office can have just their default own rules. Did I answer that well? I just want to make sure that made sense. Okay, great. Thank you. Thanks for your feedback. And there's one more thing. We don't have great compliance with people checking in. So we don't have a good history of who is and isn't in the office. Any recommendations? So one recommendation would be, if you guys do have the Microsoft Teams, like if you guys are on that platform, I would have one recommendation that route. And that would be, to push Microsoft Teams to your whole employee base. And we actually have some support documents we can send And so I'll make a note, Carol, to send you how to push that. And the reason being is because when Microsoft Teams, like when the check-ins in Microsoft Teams, it just pops up right in their chat and it's a one-click check-in. And that's probably the easiest way that we've seen our clients take advantage of the check-in. There is, okay, people just ignore it. There is one more route to go, but it would take a developer resource on your side. It is worth mentioning at a really, really high level. If you have a developer resource in your office that you could leverage, we have had some customers leverage our open API to automate the check-in, and they've done that if their Wi-Fi or their badging has an open API. So basically, there's two halves. One would be either people connect to the Wi-Fi or they badge in, and you can identify who that person is. And then a developer could write a script to automate the check-in. And so we've had a few customers set that up. We have a packet we could send you if you want to explore that route, Carol. So I'll go ahead and make a note to send that to you after our call, so you have that as a starting point.
Yeah, and something I would just add on that one, Carol, is that, and I think this is one that lots of customers are probably interested in because it's a common question we get. So much of this is about the communication between organization and employee, and this kind of quid pro quo that we're trying to create, you know, this balance of what does the organization feel it needs and what does the employee need. And we need to encourage that check-in to feel like it's a benefit to the employee, right? That it's not just the organization saying, you must check in, you must check in. And so we've got some material, some suggestions around the comms on this stuff that could be helpful because it does come up a lot. The reality is senior leadership need to be able to explain to the organization why this is important, you know, as part of your hybrid strategy, as part of why this is important for the organization. You know, that part, being able to identify that someone is there in the office is not just, you know, bums on seats and Big Brother. This is hopefully got a benefit to the user and the employee too. So we've got suggestions around that stuff. Again, please contact your CX rep. Carol got a note to connect with you on that as well. Okay, any more questions? Anything anybody else would like to raise via the chat?
Yeah, so this has been great. I really appreciate all the sharing, Lisa, Alyssa, Rika, Helen, and also for all the messages. It's good to get a pulse on what you guys are dealing with, and so yeah, I really appreciate that. I think we've really accomplished what we set out to do in this, and so yeah, we're excited to keep this series going as a regular. I think it's going to be a monthly basis. Is that right, Helen?
Yep. Yeah.
And so yeah, we'd love to see you all joining our next Kadence Connect, and we can continue to tackle this all together as we're all trying to learn from each other and share. And that's I think that's all I had. Any last words, Helen?
No, really, I just echo that. For us, this is as much about building community here as it is about sharing product updates. It's important for us that you feel that you're part of something, that you can learn from each other. But you know, you can be sharing with us about what we can be doing better. So yeah, please give us feedback, and hopefully see you on the next one. Oh, and any last questions that have come through, we will make note of, and we'll contact you directly. Thank you, everybody.
Awesome, thanks.
Bye.